Hello and welcome to one and all. In today's class, I'm going to inform you about the important questions for the board exam March 2023. Okay, so of course still there is a lot of time, but I thought that at least if I tell you the important questions till of whatever the chapters which have been completed, you can start preparing for the board exam. And this important question chapter wise, I'm giving you without knowing the blueprint which is going to be announced by the board for March 2023. As of now, the board hasn't decided which pattern of question paper they are going to follow. Because before COVID, there was one pattern, and after COVID, they changed the pattern, they increased the number of choices. So, still today, the board hasn't decided which pattern they are going to follow, whether it is going to be pre COVID board exam pattern or it is going to be after COVID, whatever the pattern of question paper which they are going to follow. Still, the board hasn't decided about it. So, as of now, I'm giving you the important questions chapter wise for both 10 marks as well as the 5 marks. So, once we get the blueprint, then we whatever the topics, there might not be 10 marks from some of the chapters, there might not be 5 marks from some of the chapters. Then, accordingly, again we will come back to the question paper and we'll discuss about it. Okay, but as of now, I'm giving you the important questions for both 10 marks and 5 marks for all the chapters. And for in certain chapters there are no 10 marks, and some of the chapters there are both 10 marks as well as the 5 marks. And this important questions I'm giving you based on the number of the frequency of the questions which have been appearing in the board exam for the last 7 or 8 years. So in that order of importance, I'm giving you the important questions. Okay. So as far as the first chapter is concerned, economic growth and economic development, we have both the 10 marks as well as the 5 marks. And for information, the first question, 10 marks, analyze critically the characteristics of developing economies with special reference to India. So if you check the previous board exam paper for the last 7 years, out of 7 years, 6 times this question has appeared in the board exam. And the next one, the concepts of economic growth and development and what are the differences. This question can appear in both 5 marks as well as the 10 marks. So like that, according to the order of importance, that is, according to the number of times a particular question has been asked in the board exam, based on that frequency, I have arranged in the number, in that order I have arranged, and each chapter wise. So based on that, I'm giving you the important questions. So these are all the important questions for the board exam 2023 chapter wise. Okay. So as far as the first unit is concerned, you can expect both 10 marks as well as the 5 marks. Second unit is also most of the time the 10 marks as well as the 5 marks questions are being asked. And as far as the third chapter is concerned also, we have the most frequently asked question is how do you reduce inequalities in the distribution of income and wealth. And the third question, briefly explain the sectoral contributions to national income. So previously, some 5 or 6 years back, this question used to regularly appear for the 5 marks. Okay, so nowadays they are not asking for 5 marks. So you can maybe, because this 2020 the syllabus has been changed, so slightly the textbook pattern, the pattern of question papers also changed. So this question in the textbook, if you check the textbook, this question has been given in the 10 mark section. So that's why maybe the board exam they are not asking this for the 5 marks. So possible that the same question can appear in the 10 marks. So that is the reason I have included the briefly explain the sectoral contribution to the national income in the 10 marks. And another most frequently asked question is the 5 marks, different types of unemployment. So causes of poverty, once upon a time it used to be for 10 marks. Now they are asking for 5 marks. Okay. So according to the pattern, according to the marks through which in which the questions are being asked, I've arranged in that order and giving you the important question. Okay. So these are all the 10 marks and 5 marks for the first 3 chapters. And as far as the 4th chapter is concerned, that is the planning and Niti Aayog, there is so far they have not asked any 10 marks question in that. Okay. So most often we are expecting only the 5 marks and 2 marks. So the very repeated questions are write a note on Niti Aayog and what is planning and explain about it. And coming to the next unit, that is the agricultural sector, the maximum weightage we are having in the so far, the maximum weightage is being given to the agricultural sector. So most often all the 10 marks, 5 marks, as well as the 2 marks questions are being asked from this chapter. So this is the frequency in which the questions are being asked from this particular chapter. The most repeatedly asked question is describe the causes for low productivity in agriculture. So based on the frequency, these are all the 5 questions that have been regularly asked in the board exam. And as far as the third question is concerned, what are the defects in agricultural marketing and explain the measures taken by the government to overcome the defects of agricultural marketing. So this is a 10 marks question, and the same question can be asked even for 5 marks. So if it is a 5 marks question, only the defects are being asked. If it is a 10 marks, both the defects as well as the measures are asked together. And the same thing for the fifth question also, causes of rural indebtedness and its remedial measures. If it is a 10 marks, both the causes as well as the remedial measures. If it is only 5 marks, only the causes of rural indebtedness is being asked in the board exam. Okay. So these are all the important questions in the agricultural chapter. And next, coming to the industrial sector, very important question is the first one. Critically examine the industrial policy resolution of 1991. And the next, of course, the problems of small scale industries and the role of small scale industries. As far as the fourth question, what are the reasons for the industrial backwardness in India? For the last couple of years, they have not been asking this question, but before that, very regularly, this question used to appear in the board exam. So to be on the safe side, it is better to prepare that question also. Okay. And this, as far as the 5 marks questions are concerned, indicate the measures to solve the problems of small scale industries. So there are 2 topics here. Indicate the measures to solve the problems of small scale industries. The first question which I have given here. And then the 6th question, suggest the measures for survival and growth of small scale industry. There are 2, more or less the answer is same, but the way there are 2 different topics given in the textbook. So most of the time, it is indicate the measures to solve the problems of small scale industries. But 2022 March board exam, they have asked this question, the 6th one, that is suggest the measures for survival and growth of small scale industries. Okay, so you can include that also as the one of the important questions. And as far the remaining questions are concerned, major features of globalization as initiated in 1991, write a note on national manufacturing policy, demonetization and GST. So as far as these questions are concerned, these questions are not asked previously, but because these are all the latest topics. So these are all the topics that are introduced in the syllabus from 2020 onwards. So because of that, there's a change in the textbook. So these are all the very latest topics. And after that, because of the COVID and all, the board exam, they have not asked all these questions, but these are all the very important topics. The national manufacturing policy, because demonetization, these are all the very important pertaining to the country. So you can expect questions from these topics also, even though these questions have not been asked by the board in the previous examinations, since these questions happen to be the introduced in the syllabus after 2020. Okay. And as far as the tertiary sector is concerned, so far they have not asked any 10 marks question from the tertiary sector. Okay, so it is only 5 marks and 2 marks. So these are very frequently asked question is the major objectives of LIC. So like that, these are all the order in which the previous board papers questions have been asked. And what are the types of non-renewable energy sources? So this is the question that have been asked in the March 2022 board exam paper. And National Infrastructure Pipeline 2020-25. So these are all very new topics and very important for the country, like for pertaining to the country. So you can expect this kind of questions. Okay. And foreign trade sector, unit A, it also, there are no 10 marks so far have been asked from this chapter. And very, very frequently asked question is the role of international trade, and distinguish between balance of payments and balance of trade, and analyze the differences between GATT and WTO. So since the last year, because of the COVID, GATT, WTO, those topics have been deleted. So that's why these questions have not been asked in the last 2 or 3 years. But before that, when this topic was included in the syllabus, is a very, very important question. Differences between GATT and WTO. And environmental economics also, there are no 10 marks in that, only the 5 marks. And these are all the questions that have been asked very frequently. Why should we protect the environment? Reasons for environmental degradation, sustainable development. This sustainable development is very important for 5 marks, as well as very, very, very important for 2 marks also. And discuss the types of pollution. This is a question, March 2022, this question has been asked. And then last but not the least is the Unit 10, Telangana Economy. And very, very frequently asked question is the explain the development and welfare programs of the government of Telangana. And this question, GSDB, to be on the safe side, it's better to prepare this question. And 5 marks also, extremely important question is the education profile and importance of Kaleshwaram project. Okay. And this one, the Telangana Economy, it has been included in the 10 marks only the last year, because of the number of choices have been increased because for the COVID pattern. But as far as board exam 2023 is concerned, we do not know still what is the pattern which the board is going to follow. If they are going to follow the same pattern which they have been following in the COVID times, then you are getting the number of choices of board. Then 6 out of 6, you have to write 3 questions. So if the 6th question the board is going to ask, then this chapter also you can expect 10 marks. If it is the earlier pattern, there are no 10 marks from this chapter. So until we know the board exam pattern for 2023, we do not know which are all the chapters the 10 marks and which are all the chapters only 5 marks. So to be on the safe side, it is better to prepare all these questions. So if it is not included, then it is better. So you can start preparing accordingly. So currently, I have given you only the 10 marks and 5 marks. And very soon, I will be uploading the 2 marks also. Okay. So it is better, according to these questions, you people start preparing for the board exam. So you can start revising at least based on these important questions. It is better. You people can start revising all these answers. Okay. So these are all the chapter-wise important questions for board exam March 2023.